man in the glasses there with his first question for the afternoon.
Hi, my name's Dan Gibbons and I do a podcast for a website called Sarcastic Gaming. How cooperative were the teams with this? Because obviously they want to be seen in as good light as possible and also not to give up any of their trade secrets. So did you find that difficult working with them to make the cards as accurate as they could be from the season?
It's definitely one for you guys. The teams are amazing actually, you know, that's not just a PR line. Back in 2008 when we got the licence, we weren't exactly sure how that was going to go, how protected they'd be of their data. When a team knows they're onto a good card, then they tend to be a little bit more secretive. All of our cards are based around the Melbourne Grand Prix, but the relationship with all of them has just grown year on year. We're able to visit them, we're able to show them the game, we're able to showcase where we want to go with it, what we want to do. And you know, all the various different aspects, we just make sure we get their buy-in with it. So you know that they know that there's different sort of series of tiers teams in F1. They're not expecting the Lotus to win, for example. So they know that we're trying to make an accurate representation of what you see on TV, and I think they're really happy with what we're doing.
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Just to keep the chatter to a little minimum as well, because
we're on the way.
Andy, running away. Thank you very much.
Simple question, is Vettel's finger in the game?
We've got various cinematic actions in the game as well, so some of the drivers are represented. The cool thing this year is about having that part firmo sequence, so it's unbelievable how many variations you have to have in order to keep that fresh, but a number of the drivers get out, they can stand on the cockpits, do some signature moves. The things that you would expect to see on TV are now being represented in the game, so it feels rewarding if you get to that top three, be it in the single player or the multiplayer this year.
Is there a formation lap on this year? Because actually a formation lap to a driver is very important when it comes to a Grand Prix.
No, it's not something we're able to get into this year's game, unfortunately. It's one of the things that we're looking at, but the track system itself, because we model the 24 cars, we model the crowds, we model how much rubbers on the track, the rain, all the various bits and pieces means that putting grid girls on as well and 15 mechanics on the grid of the cars was beyond what we're able to do at the moment, but it's definitely on the wish list.
So sadly, no grid girls. A lot of the memory space was taken up with my image, which will be in the game this year as the paddock reporter. Got a man over there with a question. Actually, do you know what? It's really nice to actually have your image in a computer game, especially when you're a father of teenagers. It's the first time they pay attention to me, look at me when they're answering my questions. It's superb. Your name, sir?
Yeah, my name's David Bowman. I'm from the Volvo video game community. Is the safety car in the game?
What's the safety car? It's something that we would like to put to the game, but like the safety car, like a number of features. I'm never saying that we're not working with those things, but what we're keen to do is, instead of just having that tick on the back of the box, for us it's important to make sure it's represented properly in the game. What all of us in the development team would hate to do is just put a feature in so that we can say, yes, we've got the safety car, yes, we've got the formation lab, if it doesn't live up to our own expectations and expectations of the audience. So when we do put it in, I think it will be brilliant.
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen, from the floor? I've got some from the Codemasters F1 2011 community.
Andy, one here as well, and I knew the safety car question would come out quite early.
In F1 2010, Quali 1 can be completely wet, and Quali 2 can be completely dry. Have you resolved those sort of issues with weather?
We've been working on a lot of the weather system. The cool thing for us this time around as developers is we've got the foundation of 10 and we're trying to build on top of that. So a lot of things that people noticed and gave us feedback on, like Quali 1 being wet and Quali 2 being completely dry. We've been working on refining. We're working on refining the drying line of the track so that it matches what you would expect to see visually and physically with circuits now. So as you go through the different sessions, there's a proper weather type that determines when it should be wet, when it should be dry, and it doesn't just happen in an instant. They're not treated as individual sessions now. But that's about the love and attention you can give a game when you're building on top of that for the sequel.
Talking of qualifying, guys, we're going to be able to see the 3 centre times during qualifying for F1 2011.
That is it. That is also qualifying is now free.
So now you'll know whether you're up or you're down throughout the entire lap. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? This man over here first, and I'll come back to you. With a stripy feeler t-shirt over there. Welcome along, sir.
Hello, my name's Steve from Xbox Live. I just really want to know, is there going to be any downloadable content coming to the game in the next few years?
Unfortunately not with F1 2011. We've got some ideas of what we'd love to do. Ultimately, we know there's a lot of demand for classic cars, historic cars, classic tracks. There's take a little bit longer to license and sort out, but it's something that's very much on the list and discussions are ongoing, but not for 20 hours.
Time for a couple more. This man has his question again.
Hello, it's Dan from Sarcastic Gaming once again. One of the really exciting features is the co-op campaign, co-op season. Do both players have to be online at the same time, or is there the ability for like asynchronous multiplayer where one player clocks their time and the other person downloads it and races against them?
You do have to be online at the same time in order to initiate the session at the beginning. What we're trying to do is, once you're up and running in that session, it's quite apparent to us that, certainly when you play the ball, one of your teammate can crash out and ruin his car. Doesn't want to wait for that session to finish. So the one player that's left in the session will continue playing through, get to the end of the session, back out to the lobby, bring the friend back in and continue from that point forward. But it's not about starting one of your own ahead of the other person. We might do that in the future, but we are aware of the two of you need to be there to launch it, only one of you needs to be there to complete it.
One more question from the F1 2011 community. Guys, Paul, I think you've got a penalty. Have you improved the penalty system so it's a bit more consistent this year?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of work has gone into the penalty system. It's really quite difficult to get right. You ask 3 FIA students in real life who deserves a penalty in the race and get 3 different answers. But the biggest improvement we made is we're able to just get our hands on it and play test it a lot earlier this year. So we're able to really balance out and go and stand behind the programmer's desk if we're not happy with something. So I think the biggest change over F1 2010 was that you could judge you purely on that moment, on that instant, whereas F1 2011 lets the scenario play out a little bit more before dealing out any penalties. It seems to be a lot better.
Thank you very much, guys, for answering our questions tonight. Paul and Steve, ladies and gentlemen. And all the guys from Codemasters are going to be on hand throughout the evening if you've got more questions and you want to go and have a chat. Thank you very much on behalf of Codemasters to FOM, without whom, of course, there would be no F1 2011, to all the F1 teams and the drivers for their invaluable contributions, and to Team Lotus for bringing their race car down this weekend. It's going to be an action at Silverstone. Tonight it's here on show for you guys. To everyone at Codemasters in Birmingham, thank you very much as well. To Paul and Steve and Andy, it's been brilliant. Now,